All right, what's up? Good morning. Happy Sunday, heathens. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How y'all be? I am Sheena Butler, aka Sister Roots, aka your favorite root worker. You just don't know it yet. Your leading heathen, your reverend heathen. And we are here at the House of Heathens Missionary Baptist Church, back for another episode of Sunday School for Heathens. How y'all feeling? I miss y'all. We didn't meet last week. I was out of town. I took the weekend. I went and saw Babyface. All right. Shout out. Listen. Listen. That man, that man got his hand in damn near everything. There are very few sounds out here that don't have the Kenneth Babyface Edmonds stamp on it. That's some phenomenal shit. To have your name in that much. Listen, I was sitting next to a beautiful couple, two black men, Anthony and Brian. Shout out to y'all if y'all ever see this. Listen, they was really good concert partners. You know, concert partners are important. Okay, they are very important. Who you sit next to makes all the damn difference in the world. Anyway, so me and my homegirl went to go see Babyface because she's always she loved Babyface. She been wanting to see him forever. Okay, me, I'm just there for the vibes. I don't care. All right, I had a good time. Had a beautiful time. But anyway, um. Baby, I forgot. Oh, that we didn't meet last week. That's what I was telling y'all. Yeah, we didn't we didn't meet last week because I was sitting with the baby face. But anyway, listen, that is what when I think about impact and influence, when he was going through his what you call it, his catalog, baby. I was just, and Anthony said, Babyface has written your whole childhood. He said, you don't even, and he was a true fan. He was singing too with their little handsome selves, okay? But anyway, I was just, when I think about impact and influence, that's what I want. Sheena need to be all up in there, okay? Sheena need to be Sister Roots, House of Heathens, the Association for United Black Coaches, like everybody. Thought I turned this off. I'm sorry, y'all. That's legacy. You see what I'm saying? Like that right there. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing, and that is how I would like to be. So that is why I am here, spreading the heathen word to all of you worthy heathens. I love y'all. Good morning. All right. So listen check the. Y'all like this one? Tell me how you feel about this. Baby, that good white Christian woman, I know she be wanting to say, girl, what the hell wrong with the flames? The hellfire. Welcome to hell, heathens. Where we boogie, oogie. My bad. Listen, y'all. How y'all feeling with the fire? Because I'm trying to get a good gauge when we drop the merch. So y'all like the hellfire? Okay, I'm put y'all see. I done changed up the color. I feel like I done entered into some Scorpio energy. Okay, some dark feminine energy. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling like. Okay. The fall stands to be a time. That's all I'm saying. You know, back when I was single, I used to say, I feel like I want to bow wow. Well, shit, I'm single now, but I'm saying back when I was single and in the dating game, I got a bow wow in my spirit. Anyway, so if y'all messing with the heathen one, if this is one that y'all want me to add to the drop, let's talk about it. Drop it in the comments section. Wear your heathen hellfire with pride, baby. Okay. Any church announcements? I thank you guys again for all of the love, all of the likes, the shares, the subscriptions. Please continue to do so. Okay, the watch hours are going up, baby. YouTube ain't playing, baby. They just doubled their watch hours for the new people. Now you gotta have 8,000 hours before you could be qualified, baby. The way that these platforms be playing with their money. Baby, when I say, baby, we out here in these internet streets turning tricks like would you like a little pussy, sir? Baby Mark got us out here on the whole stroll. Who on YouTube? I don't know who on YouTube, but whoever Big Daddy YouTube is, baby guy, I just fight for you. Motherfuckers dancing, teaching, we flipping cars, we doing all kinds of shit, trying to get anything not to get out that matrix, baby. It is what it is. It's lit. Listen, I ain't going back. It is what it is. Okay, I feel like Canaan on Power when he said, I told you I wasn't going back. I'm not going back inside the matrix. I'm not going back in the rat race, So I'm not saying that I do this for money, but because babe, I promise you the slave wages, the whole wages that we is making, the dollar, the pennies, please don't let it fool y'all. Please don't let now them big ticket niggas. Okay, Mojo Brooks and all of them, the Country Wayne and all, yeah, I ain't them. You see, Jesus said, go get in the. It's a coin in the fish. Baby, listen, I'm looking for coins in the fish mouth. Yeah, man, but I'm walking in abundance and prosperity and opportunity, and it is easy. Ashe. Okay. All right, so let's get to it, because listen, the grand homies is in their sleep. I can't be too loud. Okay, so y'all behave yourself. All right? Get it together. Y'all got a break last week. I hope y'all got that shit out y'all system. Okay, behave. We got to get to the word, and then we got to get out, okay? I'm thinking we got about an hour, so if I got to pause and come back, it's cool. But I'm hoping not, because I hate when it break my flow. So let's get to it. Listen, today we got another church favorite. Okay, we talking about the 3 Hebrew men and the fiery furnace, baby. Listen, they churches, you're real good on this one. I know y'all remember. Listen, on down to the line about coming out not smelling like smoke. Hey, okay, listen, we're going to get our church music out. We're going to get our graphics and our sound effects. Give me a minute. We're going to get it, okay? But listen, their church is real good up in here, okay? We is talking about King Nebuchadnezzar, depending on what part of the South you came from, okay? And then the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. Amen. Come on now, the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now, depending on what the part of you didn't heard it, a bad Negro, a billy goat, all right? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Listen. Shout out to the church days, okay? Anyway, so we're going to talk about this story. What does it look like? The 3 Hebrew men in the fiery furnace, okay? And this is a story that demonstrates faith under fire, divine protection, divine presence, and spiritual transformation. Okay, that's what they tell you. Because here at Sunday School for Heathens, we take what they tell you, what they told you, what they programmed you, what they indoctrinated you to believe, what they conditioned you to believe. We take that, we look at that, and then we take it. And then I turn it around and I show you in it. I give you the metaphysical, esoteric interpretation. Okay, so if you ever share this with somebody and they ask, well, what is it about? Well, listen, this is what she said that she doing. I'm giving you 2 meanings. I'm showing you in the Bible. Okay, again, just a little information, insight, and perspective for those who have questions. Amen. A woman. Ashe. All right, so let's go. Primary scripture on this one is Daniel 3, verses 1 through 30. Okay, the main characters, we got King Nebuchadnezzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right, the central theme is that the fiery furnace is a story about maintaining spiritual conviction when pressured to compromise. Traditionally, it demonstrates God's ability to preserve his people through persecution. Here we go. Shout out to Big Yahweh. Again, the big hitter. All right, here it is. He need a test, because this is what we do, all throughout the stories. People proving that Yahweh is the one. He the only one we praying to. He the only one we bowing to. It is what it is. Okay, so this is another story, another opportunity for us to explore. Okay. Anyway, all right, let's go. Traditionally, it demonstrates God's ability to preserve his people through persecution. Metaphysically, the furnace represents the trials that refine consciousness, destroy bondage, and reveal divine presence. And I'm excited to do this one. I feel like this one showed up at the right time for me, where I am in a space in my life. So I was reviewing it as I was getting ready. And I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just a constant reminder. That's all. Like every now and then, like you really gotta follow the breadcrumbs, babes. Like for real. Like on those times when you getting down, I don't know who this for, but listen, cause it's for me too. On those times when you getting down, like when you on this journey, like people make this shit up to be like it's sweet and all that. Motherfuckers be talking about whimsy and all that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cute. You know, that's real cute. But at the end of the day, this shit costs. You know what I'm saying? Stepping away from acceptance, stepping away from the comfort, the convenience of conformity. Come on. Stepping away from the mundane of the matrix. That shit costs you on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Walking this thing, walking this conscious journey, this liberated journey, this deconstructed and decentered journey, shit get hard out here on the mental. You know what I'm saying? Like everything else could very well be in place for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't necessarily need anything at this time. I'm taken care of. All is well. My necessities are taken care of. But it doesn't lessen the anxieties and the fears and the frustrations, all of the natural things that come along with the human experience and being in the human condition. I'm not exempt from that. No, none of us are exempt from that. And don't ever let nobody tell you that they are. If you ever meet a motherfucker on this path, that tells you that they don't experience nothing, that life is great, I'm blessed and highly favored all the time. Somebody lying. They lying or they on Lexapro and they don't feel shit. Listen, baby, I'm telling you, it gets real out here. It gets raw, and that's okay. You ain't nothing wrong with you. Okay, there is nothing wrong with you. This walk ain't easy. This path ain't easy. This life ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can absolutely operate it and navigate it with ease in a space of ease, in a space of alignment. And that is what we strive to do on a daily. If you were what's the word I want to use? If you real about this, if you real about yourself, like if you for real standing on business about yourself, your journey is important. Your path is important. Like it is one of the most important thing. It is the most important thing to you because you understand that without alignment, without insight, intuition, without a keen perspective on things, like you understand how dangerous it could get if you don't have that. Because and then once you get it, you remember how you used to operate without it. And that shit either makes you want to cringe or it breaks your goddamn heart because you can't believe that you was out there walking so blindly. There's so many people out here walking blindly. You know what I'm saying? So, as a real heathen, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who strives to always be in control of self. You know what I'm saying? Self mastery. Again, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? It's important. Your path is important. This is not something that we take lightly. You know what I'm saying? Like you understand how man, how detrimental it can be if you're not on your shit, if you're not on your square. Okay. But I need for you to I guess I said all that to say it's okay, babes. It's okay. If you off center, if you feel like you off kilter, it's okay. Because remember, you ain't competing with nobody. And let me say this too. Not even I'm about to sneeze. That's how I know confirmation, okay? Let me say this too. You know that saying where they say the only person that I'm in competition with is me? from yesterday, like the past version of me, I want you to use that one responsibly, okay? Because you absolutely can get so caught up in trying to outdo your old self, trying to rectify old behaviors, trying to prove to yourself that you're not a failure, trying to prove to yourself that whatever happened didn't take the best parts of you, trying to prove to yourself that you still got it. Like, listen, that shit right there will run you into the ground. You're not in competition with anyone, not even yourself. The only thing that you are doing is striving to live the life that is best aligned with you, your purpose. The life that is best aligned with what you feel like you came out here to do. Not what nobody else told you that you were supposed to do or pressured you into doing. Babe, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I guess it's for you. I hope it's hitting. Okay? So just it's okay. You doing right. Trust it. It's so uncomfortable because it is so new. You're not wrong. You're just new. Okay? All right, let's go. All right. So the key question is, what happens when faith is placed under fire? Okay? The story of the fiery furnace, the overview. King Nebuchadnezzar constructs a massive golden image. Okay? And commands everyone in Babylon to worship it. Anyone refusing to worship it will be thrown into a fiery furnace. Y'all hear this? The king constructs a image. And it says that everybody got to worship this image. And if you don't worship this image that I give you, you're going to be thrown into a fiery furnace. That don't sound like hell to y'all? That don't sound like this is your God. Believe in this God, or you're going to a fiery hell. Okay. Anyway, okay, we're gonna stay with the papers. We're gonna stay with the papers because again, we're on the time limit. Okay. All right. Anyone refusing to will be thrown into a fiery furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego say, fuck that. Nah. I'm not doing it, my boy. We're not bowing to no goddamn golden image. Why? Because you said it? Nah, bro. Nah. Okay? They tell the king that God, Yahweh, is able to deliver them. If they get thrown in the fiery furnace, he gonna come get us. That's what we believe. Okay? You talking that shit about a furnace, and we telling you that if you put us in there, he gonna come get us. But if not, just in case he don't, because I understand we making some bold declarations. Right? Ain't that just like a Christian? My God gonna deliver. And then when the deliverance don't look like what you told everybody it was gonna look like, but just because he did, he's still faithful. Okay? You got to realize how they playing with you, baby. You got to realize how they playing with your mind, with your mental. Okay? They said, but even if he does not, even if he don't come get us, we still ain't doing that. Now I ain't mad at that. Okay? This what you call who you playing with, bro? Like I'm a grown ass man. I'm not doing that. Okay. Now I do question sometimes, had they had to go in separately, would they have felt the same way? Just a thought. Just a thought. You feel pretty emboldened when you got other people with you. But if they would have split y'all up and threw y'all in that one what would that have looked like? Okay. Nebuchadnezzar became furious and orders the furnace heated 7 times hotter. To the point, I know y'all remember the story, the former saints, y'all remember the story. They said to the point where it was so hot that when the men went to open it up, the ones who just went, the servants got burnt up because that shit was so hot. And everybody just standing right there. Come on now. Okay. Anyway, the 3 men were bound, tied up, and thrown into the fire. When the king looks inside, he sees 4 men walking around freely in the fire. The three men emerge unharmed. Their clothing is not burned, and they do not even smell like smoke. Nebuchadnezzar acknowledges their God and promotes them. He said, well, goddamn. I guess I need to take this shit a little more seriously, huh? Yeah. So let's look at the breakdown. The traditional religious interpretation, the golden image. First and foremost, what happens? Nebuchadnezzar constructs an image of gold and commands everyone to worship it. Traditional meaning, the image represents idolatry, because God is a jealous God. False worship. Human power elevated above God. This is how they keep you humble. That's how they tell you, because no, I am the Lord thy God, and no man come before me. And then they drop all of these stories in just in case to reassure you that you better to reaffirm that you don't need to get too highly in yourself. You don't need to think too mightily of yourself. Okay. The key principle is anything placed above God can become an idol. Now, if you know, like that is one of the things that they really drill into you. There should be nothing else. Nothing comes before God. And in this case, we are talking about the male Abrahamic patriarchal God. Yahweh, the big hitter, the war God. Okay. The command to bow, what happens? What the people are commanded to bow when the music plays. Listen, the niggas in the Bible. Okay, we gotta assign the characters. My bad. We gotta assign the characters. Okay, so King Nebuchadnezzar, right off the back, I'm going with Clifton Powell. Okay, Pinky. Merry Christmas, Snuckle. Okay, that's what we going with. And because listen, Clifton Powell showed his ass on that round table. Okay, like so that's what Nebuchadnezzar gonna be him. All right. Say one more mother. Shout out, but listen, shout out to the black film. Shout out to black cinema. Okay, so Nebuchadnezzar, we got Clifton Powell, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Who we got? The Migos. Fly high, take off. We cool with that? You know, I try and bridge the gap because I know that there's a young. Listen, I'm a hybrid when it comes to my music and stuff, and the people, the people I listen to. Like I know a lot of people in my age group don't listen to a lot of stuff, but I got young kids. You know what I'm saying? I got teenagers. Well, they ain't young, but I got teenagers and I got grown kids. Now my music has heavily influenced my children. I'm great. They've been raised well. And the Jill Scotts and the Ericas, in the traditional hip hop, they got the oil on them. Not my youngest, he like that hood shit. Okay, he like that mumble rap. He like that, But anyway, that's a baby. He gonna be all right. I heard him listening to Cheryl Lynn, not too long ago. So he got a little oil in him. He gonna be all right. Okay, so but so I listen to the Migos, and stuff like that. Like it gets ignorant, I'm a young nigga at heart. I ain't gonna lie to you, okay? I'm an ignorant mofo trapped in here. So my playlist can get a little erratic. Okay. Anyway, so we got the Migos, right? That's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay, fly high, take off. Okay. The three Hebrew men refuse. They're like, nah. Yeah. Oh, is that Gucci? No, that's not Gucci. That's Quavo, ain't it? Don't worry about it. All right, listen. Traditional meaning, they choose obedience to God over conformity to society. Doing what you've been told. Do it. You do what I say, boy. You do what I tell you. You see the framework? You see the foundation? Do you see the plan? Okay, I just want to make sure you're on your points, Heathens. Because I give y'all a week, and you forget your righteousness. Okay, all right. Faith. The key principle here is faith sometimes requires standing when everyone else is bowing. Mm, we're gonna get there, okay? But if not, what that happens, the men tell Nebuchadnezzar, God is able to deliver us. But if not, for whatever for whatever reason, should he be a little busy at the moment? We still ain't gonna do it. Okay? It don't matter. All right. We still not gonna worship your image that you done constructed. Traditional meaning their faith is not dependent upon receiving the outcome they desire. Key principle here is mature faith. Mature faith, because that's what they tell you. You a babe in Christ. You don't understand. Lean not into thy own understanding. Okay? Excuse me. Mature faith trusts God without demanding a particular result. The furnace, what does this symbolize? What happens is the Nebuchadnezzar orders the furnace heated 7 times hotter because they love some exaggerated shit. Why did it need to be 7 times hotter? If it's gonna burn you, it's gonna burn you. You see what I'm saying? Like all that extra shit. That's how you know. That's how you know this shit. Man. That's how you know. All right. The men are bound and thrown inside. They tie them up with ropes. They bind them up with ropes. And they throw them in there. Traditional meaning, the furnace represents persecution, because that's what they tell you. They going to get the church in you up in here. They going to get the church in you up in here. Here come the foreplay. Okay? Because now they going to tell you about how everybody who did wrong by you, they was persecuting you. Because they, but God going to let you watch the play. Watch the play, okay? So represents persecution, testing, trials, and the consequences of remaining faithful. Because sometimes all they tell you, it's gonna cost you. If you want to live like Christ, you got to die like Christ. They spit on him. I'm sorry, give me 1 second, y'all. All right, baby, let's get this finished. Okay, the grand homage is up. Okay. All right. So the key principle here is faithfulness does not always prevent fire. Now, I don't know why. It never made sense to me. If you tell me to do all this, if you tell me to say that I believe in this, that I'm fighting for this, that I'm living my life for this, that I'm giving my soul to this, but then on the times when I need you, he may not come when you want him, but nah, bro. We nah. We need some accountability in the room, chat. Okay, anyway. The 4th man in the fire. What happens? Nebuchadnezzar sees 4 men walking around inside the furnace. The 4th has a supernatural appearance. Christian tradition has often understood this figure as an angelic presence, or in some interpretations, a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus, the Christ. Okay. So some, and I've heard it preached both ways. Some preachers will say that it was the 4th man. Nobody knows who the 4th man is. And then other preachers will spin and say it was Jesus in the fire with him. There's gonna come a time, and I'm having a conversation with myself now, because I'm like, okay, so what's next? What do I do after Sunday school for Heathens? Because we're having a good time right now, but at a certain point in time, there's only so many Bible interpretations that we can do. You see what I'm saying? Because after a while, it's always going to come back to you. So I never want my message to be redundant. You know what I'm saying? Cookie cutter preachers always bothered me. When I realized that preachers preach this, I'll never forget the first time that I realized that preachers preach the same sermon for the second service that they did for the first service. I don't know why as a kid that messed me up so bad. Because to me, it felt like it was less authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like when you understood how rehearsed it was, like, oh, Like it really did. It bothered me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm always mindful of that when it comes to any type of content that I do. You know, I try. That's why I switch it up. Some days I might talk about deconstruction. Some days I might talk about decentering. Some days I might talk about religion. Some days I might talk about marriage. Some days I might talk about parenting. Some days I might talk about awareness, consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you never want people to get lost in the sauce. Like, and then you never want people to get lost in the redundancy is the death of creativity. And I never want that to be me. So it's always my prayer, my petition that my work always goes out in the most authentic way. Like the fact that I'm even doing Sunday school for heathens, this is some wild shit. I never could have imagined this. But I saw a need, you know, and you guys affirm the need every time that you log in. And you share and you like it and you watch it and you send your love offerings, the tithes offerings, and sacrificial givers. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? So but my mind is going in the direction of what's next. I have an idea, but I don't know if people are ready for it. So we're gonna let the heathen Lord lead. Amen. A woman. Okay. Anyway, so God does. So the fourth figure, again, some people spin it like it's just a fourth man. Some people spin it like Jesus. Some people say it's an angel. You know what I'm saying? Traditional meaning God does not abandon his people during your trials. Now he gonna look at you. He gonna watch all that shit happen. You know? Maybe even make some bets on it. Shout out to Job. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Anyway, but he's there. He's present. He was there. Baby, that's my mom. I'm saying my mom. Anyway, okay. Key principle is God may not always keep us from the fire. This is what they church you. They done got you hyped all the way up to this. He gonna get in it with you. Never mind the fact that he could stop it. Never mind the fact that he could knock all this shit over, set all this shit down, set it straight. I mean, it wouldn't even took much. It wouldn't even took much. Like that be what be blowing me. Like it won't even take much. Like you could do a little, you know what I'm saying? You say you the almighty, you the all powerful. Like, come on, man. Come on, Big G. You just gonna get silent? But you show up when motherfuckers play with your name, though. Boy, y'all were like Marlo on the wire. Shit, you know what I'm saying? He said my name. Anyway, all right, come on, Shane. Come on, because the grand homies, they in there. I got them docile for the moment, okay? Their bonds are destroyed. What happens? The men entered the fires tied up, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up, bound. Okay, by all of the afflictions. I'm telling you, if you got a good one, he could preach it real good right now. Or she could preach it. She could preach it. Shout out to the women happy hitters. We talk about the men a lot, only because, you know, suffer not a woman to teach bullshit. That's the reason why it's more men known in the game than it is queen pins. But it was some vicious heifers out there who could they could tell Bible story up. They could preach. They could turn you every which way but loose. Tap into them feminine demons, them feminine struggles. Baby, listen. Come on, Shayna. All right, what happens? The men entered the furnace tied up. Inside the furnace, they are seen walking freely. Traditional meaning the fire that was intended to destroy them only destroys what was binding them. Okay. Key principle: God can use the very thing intended for destruction as an instrument of deliverance. And right here, they're gonna put a little David in there for you. They're gonna put a little no. Was it David? No, not David. My bad. They're gonna put a little Joseph in there. What you intended. What the devil intended. If you got a good one, they could bring it in. They could string it all together. Okay. Shout out to the master craftsman. Excuse me. They come out, and then finally they come out without the smell of smoke. And this is the best one. Okay. This is the They could slow it down. They could slow it down. They could bring you into, if you got a good minister of music, they could bring you into a worship session right here. Right here, they could shout you, but then they could bring you into a worship session for a final altar call right before the offering. Okay? The men emerge unburned, uninjured, clothing intact, without the smell of fire. Now, if you ever been one to work the grill, if you have ever been designated the family griller, grill master, okay? I came up under the, shout out to my uncle. Shout out to my Uncle Kevin, he was a beast on the grill. You know what I'm saying? And I watched him. I asked him for a lot of tips. He ain't always do right by me. He made fun of me a lot. But like I told him, I don't understand. See, that's the family get on that petty shit, on that messy shit. Like, bitch, you see, I'm learning. Fuck you going to talk behind my back for? Just tell me I ain't do it right. You know what I'm saying? But see that baby, listen. That's my own food family. Okay? But anyway, if you ever been the one to work the grill, you understand that at the end of the day, okay, while everybody's sitting in there with the sides on the plate, still chewing on the gristle of all of your hard work, you got to come on off the grill, go inside, and get your ass in the shower. Because you smell like straight up charcoal, okay, smoke. I used to work at A&R Barbecue. Shout out to Shawnee. I used to work at A&R Barbecue when I first came out here. And baby, I had long hair then. I was rocking my Keisha Cole blonde at the front, red at the back. Come on, Keisha. And listen, it was nice too, cause baby, listen, your girl. I've seen some things, okay? I've seen some things. I've done some things. I've been some people. But baby, that when I say that postpartum hair loss took me down to, listen, baby, I couldn't even do my Keisha. I was so slick around there. Shiny, baby. Whoo, baby, that postpartum would do you dirty. You put a ragged ass baby daddy with that. Please try and stay alive, sis. If anybody is postpartum listening to me right now, and you just stay alive, baby. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, my baby. I know it is. But listen, that shit ain't for the weak, oh, man, I'm so glad I'm out that game. I did it 4 times. I earned my strength. I'm done with that shit. I'm done, man. Listen, shout out to y'all. But to the ones that is single and childless, don't do that shit. Anyway, all right. So, you got to go take a shower because you smell like smoke. So the fact that these people were in a furnace, a fiery furnace that was turned up 7 times hotter than normal, and they came out, truth be told, they should have been incinerated. They should have been disintegrated, evaporated. Okay? It shouldn't have been nothing, not even a particle left. Okay? And they came out and didn't even smell like smoke. Hallelujah. Traditional meaning, their deliverance was complete. Key principle here, God's ability to preserve is greater than the enemy's ability to destroy. Cue the offering song. Okay? Let's look at what that looks like in the metaphysical interpretation real quickly. Okay? Traditionally, the story demonstrates God's supernatural protection of 3 faithful men who refused to compromise their worship. Metaphysically, the story can also represent what occurs within consciousness during periods of intense testing and transformation. That's where I'm at. Anytime, Lord, heathen Jesus, heathen Mother God. Come, your girl, listen, I've been running a long time. I'm not tired. I'm a little fatigued though. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't tired, but I'm a little fatigued. Okay. All right. Um, the question becomes, what if the fiery furnace represents the experiences that challenge our identity, our beliefs, our fears, uh, and and most importantly, because I'm finna get into that today with the video that I'm gonna do after here. To go to the socials, we're gonna talk about that Jasmine versus them 20 ignorant bitches. Okay. Anyway, most importantly, your spiritual convictions. All right. From this perspective, the king becomes the ego, the golden image becomes false identity, bowing becomes spiritual compromise, which is dangerous and deadly. Baby. Okay. And I got goosebumps when I said it. All right. The furnace becomes transformation. And the fourth man represents divine presence revealed within the trial. So let's look at it. Nebuchadnezzar represents the ego. Okay, he symbolizes control. All of the things that the ego is notorious for. Okay, control, pride, domination. We talk a lot about control, baby, but we don't talk about those who struggle with domination. Okay. And external authority. Metaphysical meaning, Nebuchadnezzar represents the ego demanding that consciousness submit to appearances, fear, and worldly authority. That's what the ego wants you to do. That's where that be ye not of the world, be in it but not of it, observe but don't absorb. Okay? Be like water, let it pass through, babes. Okay? Stay in flow. Nebuchadnezzar represents the ego demanding consciousness submit to appearances, fear, and worldly authority. Key principle, the ego constantly attempts to make the higher self bow to the lower self. If you are struggling to get out of a rut, it is because your lower self is winning. Picture your lower self and your higher self in a fight. And your lower self is whooping your higher self's ass. That's what this is. When you can't get out of that slump. I just shout out to Badu, trying to get over that hump. Trying to get over that motherfucking hump ain't no joke, babes. Especially when you just came from up off one. Okay? Look at what you're letting. Don't lose to her. Listen, and this is the thing. She means no harm. He means no harm. Thy lower self means no harm. They just don't do well with change. Structure, discipline, boundaries. Okay, accountability. That lower self, they don't like that shit. Okay. The golden image equals it symbolizes the false identity, which is encompassed in materialism, status, wealth, ego, and external validation. All of the shit that don't matter. Guns and butter, babes. All of the shit that don't matter. All of the man-made constructs that force us to run ourselves crazy. Okay? Metaphysical meaning, gold represents material value. Now listen, I do love my gold. Okay? Green for the money, gold for the honey. Okay? I love my gold. I do. I have tried. When I was a kid, I used to like silver. When I was a teenager, I used to like silver. Baby, see, when I got in them 20s and really in my 30s, and it has overtaken me in my 40s, I love some gold on brown, copper, chocolate skin, baby. I loves it. Okay. And it's one of the reasons why I keep gold on, especially on my nails, like again, even with this is, I got to take this set off, but this is a set that this is a money spell that I did, right? So the money that is on the base of these nails was worked. I rooted this money, right, to draw abundance. So I keep the abundance on my hand, okay? And the gold to symbolize the wealth and the wealth, the opportunity, the prosperity, because that's not always, it's not always about money. I want to manifest opportunity more than anything. I want the opportunity for my voice to be heard. I want the opportunity for doors to be opened. I want the opportunity to make a difference. So I wear things that is in alignment with that. Okay, it's ritualizing yourself. It's adorning yourself. Anyway, get the work in the earth class to show you how to take care of yourself. Okay, you still need a spiritual practice, heathen. You know, well, let me not tell you that. You do need, but you know you do. Because spiritual hygiene is a very well thing. Anyway, all right, so listen. None of the shit that matters. Okay? None of it that matters. The image symbolizes the identities and the external things we are tempted to worship instead of divine truth. The key principle is whatever determines your identity can become your idol. Whatever determines your identity can become your idol. Whatever determines your identity can become your idol. Who are you? What is your identity? Is your only identity a mother or a husband? Is your only identity a father? Come on, Sheena. Come on, get it together. A mother or a father, a husband or a wife. Okay? You know what I'm saying, y'all. What is your only identity? A Christian, a soldier, an entrepreneur, a minister of the word of God, an evangelist, a prophetess, a guru, a priestess, a witch, a warlock. That which determines your identity can become your idol. Be mindful. It's so easy to lose, baby. If your relationships determine your identity, if your accomplishments determine whatever it is that you use to say, this is who I am, that is your strength and that is your weakness. That is your kryptonite. That's what people don't understand. When you build yourself up on something, you expose the greatest way to take you down. When you let people know what makes you, you let people know what breaks you. And you watch it happen in real time. You see, listen, the way that you can see enslavement to ego has been on a rise lately. But it's not a rise like a steady incline. It's more like a mad dash. Because there's a falling away that's happening. There's a deconstruction and decentering that is happening on a mass level for the collective. And some people are losing their shit. And some people are learning how to surf. Okay? Just stay in alignment. That's all I got to say, okay? Be mindful. You better know who you are. Because listen to me, there's going to come a time when the things that you say make you who you are, the things that you do that make you who you are, there's going to come a time when you will not have any of those at your disposal. And then who are you? And I'm telling you it's going to happen because it's the whole reason why you came here. To find your way back to self, knowledge of self, to be still and know that I am God. Okay. Bowing represents spiritual compromise, which is deadly. It's dangerous and deadly. It symbolizes conformity, fear, surrendering conviction, and giving your power away. Baby, I think it's a mosquito up in here. That's done got me. Okay. A monitoring spirit. Somebody don't want this heathen word to go forth because that motherfucker done tore my hip up. I don't want y'all to think I'm dirty or nothing. Baby, you know how you feel that sting when it gets you? I had to play it cool. This right hip is going through it, okay? Anyway, all right, listen. So the metaphysical meaning, bowing represents allowing external circumstances to determine inner truth. The key principle is spiritual integrity means remaining aligned even under pressure. Baby, when I tell you to be true to self, it is the hardest battle you will ever fight, and it is the longest victory that you will work to maintain. Do you hear me? People do not want you to be you. People do not want you to say, I'm different, I'm not made like this, I'm not built like this, I'm not doing this, I'm not conforming, I'm not afraid of this. People don't like that. Okay? It makes them uncomfortable. Because who are you? And why do you think you better than us? You different than us. People don't like that. It upsets the balance. Okay? You put a target on your back when you start popping your own shit. When you start saying, no, I'm not gonna give in. Psychological warfare is a real thing. Okay? Metaphysical meaning, bowing represents allowing external circumstances to determine your inner truth. I know what the outside says, but what does the inside say? Because that's the only thing that you need to be paying attention to. That is the only conversation, that is the only communication that matters. To hell with what everybody else says. Baby, if I had to wake up and depend on what everybody else had to say, Sheena would have been gone a long time ago. Especially stepping into these social media streets where people think they got the right. They tell you all the time, it's a public post. I can say, bitch, I don't care if it's public or not. Don't bring your mustard ass over here thinking you gonna talk to me crazy and say any kind of thing. I'm not that. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Y'all listen. Well, that's why I hate when people be like, don't let them get you out of character, sis. Nah, bitch, this is my character. That's what y'all don't understand. That's my nature. Okay? Like, people, my nature can be uninhibited. Right now, it is prohibited. That nature of the beast, people don't understand that. Like, that is what... there's a beast that develops while you walk in this life. Okay? The journey back to self is learning how to quiet the beast, how to tame the beast, how to prohibit the beast, whether it's the beast of fear, the beast of insecurity, the beast of rage, the beast of anger, the beast of disappointment, the beast of discouragement, the beast of envy, the beast of instability. You know, the beast of laziness, the beast of self-sabotage. Like, it's a whole lot of shit that can attach itself to you. And this path is about detaching, defacing, deconstructing, and decentering that beast so that you could get to that soft white underbelly. Right? But people take that for granted. So they hop in your comment sections and they looking at the evolved version of you. They stabbing at the motherfucker that allowed this calm person to be here. Stop playing with me. I'm not that person. I'm not that spiritualist. I'm not that guide. I'm not that guru. I ain't none of that. I ain't none of that. I ain't nobody's idol. I ain't none of that. You get wrong with me, I let Sister Ruth take the lead 98% of the time, but it's that 2% where that ignorance got to come on out. Hey, let's go. All right. So people pressure you. They challenge you. They challenge your spiritual integrity as if they have the right. And it's a very audacious and disrespectful and arrogant thing. And you get it constantly. The moment you step outside of the social constructs, people automatically perceive that as an opportunity to provoke, as an opportunity to attack, as an opportunity to question. Like, it's a very, very audacious thing that happens, and an audacious shift that happens. But at the end of the day, and to me, it doesn't bother me because to me, I believe transparency saves lives. So I have to remember that even though there's a lot of audacity out here, there's a lot of curiosity out here too. There's a lot of people who simply don't know. There's a lot of the shit that come out of my mouth opens people's minds to be like, wait, what? Girl, who said where you heard that shit from? You know what I'm saying? And I love that reaction. I love it every time because people like, I never thought about that. Yeah. I said the shit. Listen, I had a lot of time to sit inside this brain of mine, okay? It be a lot of shit going around. So once I started piecing when 2 + 2 = 4, yeah, well, now we all finna talk about it. Because, bitch, I knew I wasn't crazy, okay? So what I'm telling you is, I don't even know. Anyway, let's go. All right, the 3 Hebrew men represent higher consciousness. They symbolize faith, conviction, spiritual identity, and inner alignment. Okay, remaining true to self. I'm not going to bow. My boundaries are in place. My actions are moving with self in mind. Self at the forefront. First and foremost, must always be self. There is nothing wrong with me. You have to be selfish to survive. The problem is the connotation. I always switch it up. The denotation. No, the connotation with which they have given selfishness, as if it is something negative. The only way that you can navigate through this world is through the lens of self. So if you're letting someone give you your identity, if you're letting something give you your identity, if you're letting something external tell you what self is, the collapse is going to happen every time, and the fall is going to be traumatic, baby. When that ass hit that concrete, let me tell you something. I fell at the VA hospital. Ended up with 3 rib contusions and three contusions and a shoulder contusion. Anyway, just a fancy word for some. I was banged up. I was hurting. Okay, some idiot mopped the floor with a soaking wet mop. I came out that ice room, baby. I had some Crocs on. Next thing I know, I was looking up at my feet in the air. And them grounds ain't got no. Them hospital floors, that's concrete underneath, man. And listen, ain't no give. Ain't no give. Okay. When my ass met that floor, I knew life was real. You understand me? And I'm telling you that when you allow external things to tell you who you are, when that ass hit concrete, baby, you gonna know life is real. Beyonce said God is real. And I'm not making fun of the moment in which she said it because I've never seen that documentary. I've never watched. Maybe I need to watch some of her documentaries. I don't have any disdain for her or anything. You know, I just, you know. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. All right, I'm on the clock. That little Pisces on my ass. Okay, so let's finish this up, okay? Higher consciousness. So the 3 men represents consciousness that refuses to surrender divine identity to external circumstances, okay? You don't give in. That's why Jesus said, no man take my life, lest I lay it, except I lay it down. You see what I'm saying? That's when you know what you know. Bitch, who you playing with? You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. Can't nobody tell me who I am. That is what that is. Nobody can sway you. Nobody can tell you anything about you. I'm to that point now. Can't nobody tell me shit about me. I know Sheena. If I don't know nothing else, I know Sheena. I ain't always been honest with Sheena or about Sheena, but damn it, now I am. Okay? I always tell people I was who I was and I am who I am, and I'm cool with both of them. Okay? Higher consciousness remains centered regardless of external pressure. The furnace equals transformation, baby. Them trials and tribulations, that tower moment, that ass tearing, that dark night of the soul, okay? Trials, pressure, Purification, because fire comes to purify. That's why you can't listen. If it's getting hot, don't focus on the heat. Don't focus on the heat. Look around at what's burning. Don't focus on the heat. Baby, let me tell you something. When I say the fire is, we is in alignment. Okay, don't focus on the hellfire, baby. Pay attention to what's burning. Pay attention to who's on fire in your life. Pay attention to what's on fire in your life, because that is the shit that can't go. That is what can't remain. Okay? That is what those trials and tribulations, it comes to burn away the shit that don't serve you. The arrogance, the ego, the fear, the insecurity, the jealousy, the desperation, the shit that drives you to make all of the decisions that don't honor self. Baby, let's pay attention to what's on fire. Okay? Because that's the shit that gotta go. It can't come. That is what's prohibiting you. That is what's hindering you. That is what is impeding you. That is what's holding you back. Okay? We get so consumed. We get so focused on the heat because it's hot. Then a motherfucker in here, I smell hair burning. But you good. It don't matter what you smell. Because when you come out, people can't smell nothing. No, they can't smell no smoke on you. I wish I had my church. Okay? I'm not playing, y'all. I'm not playing like that. If that's the one piece of advice that I could give anybody going through hell, like they say, when you're walking through hell, you don't stop. The only way out is through. Keep going. Don't get consumed by how hot the temperature is. Because that's what stops us. We stop because we paying attention to the sweat. We paying attention to how hot it is, but we're not paying attention to the fact that you're not burning up. And you're not paying attention to what's being burned away and burned out. Okay? Metaphysical meaning, fire transforms whatever enters it. The furnace represents experiences that expose fear, attachment, false identity, and limiting beliefs. And listen to me. I'm going to say it again. When you want them roads opened, when you pray for transformation, when you petition for change and opportunity and ascension and evolution, those negative attachments got to go. And you don't know, listen, whatever that looks like, to whomever you may be attached to. Now, you could choose to stay. And you could also choose to drag along. And it's more difficult and more dangerous to try and drag along. Because now you try and drag along some folks that ain't supposed to come, and then you make yourself responsible for them by proxy, which adds on even more pressure. And then you really got to look at yourself and say, why am I holding on to this person? And I'm not saying you don't take who's there for you. You don't take your family. But it's some people around you who you want it way more than they do. And you hindering yourself because you're trying to convince them that there's a better way. Come on up out of there, babes. You got to lead them in the fire. Okay? Key principle is some spiritual lessons can only be learned and will only be learned under pressure. Okay. The fire being 7 times hotter symbolizes complete spiritual testing. 7 commonly represents completion, spiritual fullness, and divine order. The intensified furnace represents a complete transformational process. Baby, you went in there and you burned some stuff away. The intensity of a trial can be the environment for a deeper transformation. Just know, babes, if you in it deep, if you going down deep, you finna come up to something beautiful. If you but it's the slingshot theory, if you being pulled back, baby, you finna be launched and catapulted into something. That's what I'm telling you. Don't get glad. Get glad. I know it's dark. I know it's hard. I know it's hot. I know it's fiery. But shit finna get good for you, okay? So the ropes symbolize the limiting beliefs, symbolizes fear, conditioning, past wounds, false identity, and limitation. Metaphysical meaning, the men enter the furnace bound but walk around freely. The fire does not destroy them, it destroys their bondage. Because sometimes the fire is not there to destroy you, it is there to destroy what has been binding you. That 4th man represents divine presence. It symbolizes God within the trial. It symbolizes our divine connection to the divine intelligence that innervates and animates all that is. The greatest manifestation of God's source creator's energy. Shout out to the Mother God. Okay? So it represents God within the trial, higher consciousness, divine protection, and spiritual presence, your Ori, your higher self, your ancestors, your angels, your spirit guides. Okay? Hold on one second. Everybody going home on Saturday nights. That's just the bottom line. Okay. Anyway, last one. The fourth figure represents the realization of divine presence during transformation. The presence was not necessarily recognized before the furnace. It becomes visible inside the fire. Key principle is certain dimensions of divine presence become visible only during transformation. Some levels of you, some levels of your resilience, some levels of your determination, some levels of your strength, your courage, your inner refinement, all of that, some levels of that can only be unlocked once the prerequisite is getting your ass tore up. It's the course. That you don't get that without this. That's why I say regardless of everything that has happened, regardless of everything that has happened, regardless of everyone that has hurt me, everybody that's betrayed me, all of the thing. And listen, and again, this, I'm not saying this from the standpoint of victimhood. You know what I'm saying? Because people are like, oh, why she just don't let that go? Because people will tell you don't have to get over it. I remember when Sherry Shepherd said her daddy called her and told her to stop talking about how her ex-husband did her on the show. Nah. Like the way that people tell you to act like something never happened or don't talk about it, bitch, this is my life. It's my life. You have the right. Tell your stories, people. There's a lot of people who benefit from your silence. A lot of people. Okay? But what I'm saying is there are things that happen in your life that change you. And there are things in your life that literally mark the end of some cycles in your life, of some aspects of your life. So to act as if they did not happen is insane. You see what I'm saying? But regardless of everything that happened to me, basically, I'm in my whole life, but really from 2016 all the way up until now, as bad as that hurt, babes, I'm grateful because you don't get here without that. Walking in the fire equals spiritual mastery. It symbolizes freedom, peace, confidence, inner authority. The metaphysical meaning is the men are no longer bound or overwhelmed by the environment surrounding them. They're not paying attention to the flames. Okay? Spiritual mastery does not always remove the fire. It changes how we exist within it. Sometimes when you come into spiritual mastery, you are then able to remove yourself from a situation. But more often than not, when you come into a sense of spiritual mastery, when you come into a level of spiritual mastery, consciousness, and awareness, that situation literally does not it doesn't bother you either way anymore. It's there is no spoon. Okay? And then coming out of the furnace equals new consciousness. It symbolizes transformation, spiritual maturity, freedom, and new identity. The metaphysical meaning is the same men enter and leave the furnace, but their relationship to bondage has changed. Come on now. Because it's never about the fire. It's always about the bondage. They emerge free. The key principle is the purpose of transformation is not simply survival. It is freedom. When you look around, especially those of us who have been there, who've been on this thing for a minute, you know what I'm saying? But when you sit back and you think about the way that you lived prior to this person, this being that you are, because you're not the same. You don't even look the same. You look at pictures of me from when I looked older in my 20s than I do in my 40s. You know what I'm saying? In my 30s, I look at pictures of myself and I'm just like, there's no way that transformation, that burning away is evidence of the mastery. It's evidence of the perseverance. It's evidence of the standing on business about you. And it's evidence of your freedom. You earned it. Walk in it. Happy Sunday, heathens. Have a good one.